Hey guys, this is Matt and Justin, and this is our intro to the Chess Goals Sicilian Dragon course. So, what's our inspiration behind this course?
So we kind of started to scheme and think of this course when we were playing in a tournament together, and we're both masters. We're both around the same rating, and we kept playing low rated players, and we would play the Caro Kann against them, and we would get good positions, but they were just kind of drawish. So we wanted something more adventurous, more advantageous, more dynamic. That kind of gives us more winning chances and more attacking chances. So that's kind of how we came across the Sicilian. And then from the Sicilian, we kind of looked at a few different ways to kind of play it. We looked at a Taimanov, we looked at a Pure Dragon, and we kind of came across this um, line that Daniel Dubov has played. And he's a very highly regarded theoretician. He was the second for Magnus, and I think almost all of his world championship matches.
Mhm.
Um, and he came up with this really cool Sicilian idea.
And he's also very strong in rapid and blitz. And I feel like if you take games from the top level players in rapid and blitz, that can translate well to master level and club level classical games. So, here's his idea after e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6. He kind of starts with what looks like the classical Sicilian. d4, this is called the open Sicilian. And after knight f6, knight c3, d6, this setup is pure classical Sicilian. But then after bishop g5, this is where he throws in the wrinkle and he plays 1g6. And we're calling this the Dubov Dragon. And the first two chapters are going to cover this position. Chapter 1 is when white does not take the knight. So any other move like queen d2, for example. And chapter 2 is going to be Dubov accepted, where they take the knight and saddle us with double pawns. But we're going to show you we have very dynamic play. We have the two bishops, and we're going to be able to attack white. And I think it's going to give us really good winning chances. So that's chapters 1 and 2.
Yeah, a lot of times when they take on f6, it leaves this d6 pawn isolated, and we just sacrifice it. So that's how aggressive this is. We're going into a pawn sacrifice line, but it's supported by one of the greatest theoreticians living right now. So it's a very, very strong and dynamic line to go for. So then we kind of take a step back after we look at these Dubov lines. And for example, in this position, we look at other moves besides bishop to g5. So we look at moves such as bishop to e3, bishop c4, bishop b5, and any like f pawn pushes as well. And then if we take another step back, we look here at if they trade the knight early. A lot of club players do this, but it's not considered a super great idea. We just kind of have to know how to address it. So that we have a whole chapter dedicated to early knight trades. So that could happen in this position or later on, anytime they trade the knight on c6. We cover that in this chapter.
And just like other chess goals courses, we show you guys what you're going to see at the club level. So we make sure to put a lot of lines in if you're likely to see those variations in your games. So backing up a couple more moves, going back to move 3. So we looked at the open Sicilian, and in this position, you're also going to see quite a few players bring this bishop out right on move 3. So chapter 5 is going to be bishop to c4, which we call the Joko piano. The bishop hits this pawn, and what we'll tend to do is put our pawn on e6 and create this structure where we block the diagonal of the bishop, and then we look to play d5 or a6, b5, and we have a lot of fun attacking this guy. So that's chapter 5. Chapter 6 is the Rosolimo. That's where they put the bishop on b5 and go for the trade. And we're going to keep some similar themes to the bishop c4 lines, and we're going to look to make that bishop a bad piece on b5. Make him really question what's his purpose out there. So that's chapters 5 and 6, the bishop moves on move 3.
Yeah, I like it. And then we're going to take another step back. And in this position, we're going to look at knight c3 here, which is called the closed Sicilian, where white doesn't go for d4. And also, if they go something like d4, this is the Alapin or Smith Morra. So the Alapin and Smith Morra with the lines that we're suggesting can transpose. So we can see this from this move order, or if they do something like play c3 right away. And then the last thing is just weird oddball move two. So anything like b3, b4, even like c4, d3, any like f pawn push. There's a lot of weird moves that at the club level that white can play here, and we just kind of address all of that in the miscellaneous chapter.
Yep, so that covers all of our lines. We have 9 chapters, and like our other Chess Goals courses, there will be updates along the way. There will be YouTube content. You get access to our community where you can ask questions. So we hope you guys enjoy this Sicilian Dragon course, and we will see you in the course.